Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to do a general bite element. I don't know if this is going to be a two-part video, so two different parts, or one whole. We'll see as we get through two of the elements here, see how I'm feeling, see if I need a break, see if it goes quickly or not, okay? So we'll start with fire signs, move on to earth signs, and then do air and water, okay? This will be about shadow work. So I'm going to pull from the next deck, the Shapeshifters, and the Halloween Oracle, okay? And just read bits and pieces, and we're just going to see what shadows are lurking that we need to shine some light on, okay? Follow your sun, your moon, and your rising placements, okay? It's just an extension in total of all the other videos as well. Another thing I noticed we needed is doing the generals for the week. Popped up a lot of shadow work talk, a lot of shining light on shadows, working on those aspects of ourselves, okay? So we'll go ahead and get started with the fire signs. I'll timestamp in the description box as well. And if this happens to end up being a two-part video, that'll be okay, all right? Look forward to the other one. All right, we're going to start with Aries of our fire signs, and then move on to Leo and Sagittarius before going to our earth signs. So Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising. Let's get two from the next deck, please, Spirit. We'll go ahead and pre-pull all for the Halloween Oracle in the next deck as well. All right. It just depends on what space we'll have available. Let's get a couple of our Halloween Oracles for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Spirit. Okay. All right. What do we got here? Okay, there's quite a few things going on. All right. I'm going to start with the Halloween Oracle. Let me just make some space here. The first one that came out, you have Midnight, the most magical hour of all. And Graveyard, unnecessary fear. Okay. Midnight's also the witching hours, so that could mean something's happening in your dream state, maybe nightmares. I'm seeing with those two cards there. Let's go ahead and take a gander here. The middle of the night, midnight, is the hour in which it is believed that ghosts, witches, ghouls, and magic are most likely to be active. Transition times, such as noon, the time between tides, or even dark moon, are traditionally powerful times for magical transformation. Let's see. As soon as the clock strikes midnight on Halloween, it is said that the spirits flow forward through the veil, and if benevolent, bring positive messages. If not so benevolent, they are mischievous and play tricks at best or worse, causing havoc. Allow yourself to relax in the benevolent darkness of midnight. You may feel this is your darkest hour, but know that the light will return. The dawn always follows the darkest night. Know, too, that this is important to recognize that we all have darkness within us, just as we have light, and this isn't something to hide from. Okay. Know that you fear unnecessarily. This is the Graveyard. Things are not as they seem, and you can overcome your obstacles. The anxieties you have, although real, should be put aside before they haunt you long term. Instead, trust that you know that the correct next steps and that you will act upon them, okay? There's also a sense of messaging, either through dream state or perhaps actually paranormally in some way, shape, or form, okay? The next few cards from the next deck kind of indicate something like that. You have Message number 45. Trying to find spots for these, so still being screened. You have number 38, Deceit. And number 11, Complicated. Ooh, there's two 11s there. Okay, so could be a sign of leveling up, some sort of manifestation as well. All right. Get ready and pay attention. You're about to get a message with special meaning, okay? Perhaps it's something apprehensive and that's what's causing some fear, right? But just know it has special meaning for a reason. It could also be a deceptive message with deceit there, or seemingly deceptive, but there may be something behind that. Maybe someone will text you something nice, or you'll find out about something in a phone call. Perhaps a letter will come, or maybe a sign in nature that will point you in the right direction. And the other cards it relates to is deceit and complicated, okay? So maybe not read the surface of the situation. There's more to it. There's layers, right? When you choose the symbol of deceit, be very careful about making motives in your choices. Not to betray yourself. There could also be a stabbing in the back. And maybe there's some trust issues regarding that, and that's the shadows that need to be healed. Either way, this is going to expose something for you that does get to be healed. Pay attention to your triggers, okay? This could be a triggering circumstance. And then 11, complicated. So something that's not obvious and transparent. You're going to have to look through this situation to be able to shine light on it. Drawing this symbol reminds you that sometimes there are so many elements to consider that it could be next to impossible to understand them all in the moment, especially when you most want to find an answer. Right now things are complex, and only time will help you put all the pieces of the puzzle together. Don't try to figure this one out just yet. Just be open and follow the threads of life's mysterious web. You probably will also get messages through your dream state as well, telling you more. So just be collecting of whatever this is going to expose for you, okay? Let's pull one from the shapeshifters for their guidance, spirit. It may seem ominous, and maybe you might want to recoil at that, right? But that may be the thing that is actually exposed, right? Like your initial reaction to something without knowing all the fact yet, right? And then you can kind of uncover where that came from originally and heal that wound. All right, let's pull one from Shapeshifter Spirit. Final guidance. One piece. All right. All right. You have Once Upon a Midnight Dreary, creativity, genius, writing, expression, and artistic flow. I'm getting a sense of definitely journaling through this, or at least writing stuff down, right? Maybe even some sort of free writing channeling. Writing some poetry, jotting notes, logging. 31 breaks down to 4. Okay. All right. It is time to shape your dreams into reality. So those messages in your dreams could mean something, right? Start that book and keep going. Paint that picture and then another and another. Capture the divine moment in inspiration, and then by hard work show up and sweat it until it's shaped and completed. You're engaging in sacred magic. You're being asked by the spirits of the world and the laws of the raven and the bright full moonlit magic to contribute creatively, to be touched by the spirit of inspiration. This may not make you rich or well known or even happy, but it will satisfy a deep urge, a craving, a thirst within you. Take steps now to become a crafter of magic through creativity. You're being told that it is the law that you do so and that you complete the work. Work hard. Learn about yourself and capture the divine moment for all of our sakes. So there is going to be something in this process of discovery, layered discovery, communicated to you not just in the tangible but also the spiritual, right? That is going to unfold into a bigger picture that's for the greater good, right? And where you're going to learn a lot. about what you can do, right? And what maybe has been holding you back. And once you've discovered that, then you can find ways to heal. You might have to check your other placements to be certain of where this is going as well, okay? Get a bigger picture on that one. All right, Aries? There you go. All right, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising. Continuing with our fire signs. Leo. Let's get a couple from the Halloween Oracle for our Leo spirit at this time regarding any shadows that need illumination. All right. All right, the first card that came out is Night Song, Hidden Talents. This is all just about tapping into your vocal abilities, all right? Your talents. And gaining that strength to move forward. Maybe I'm getting a sense of a hint of getting over stage fright, something like that, you know? All right, should this bird sing to you, know that you must unwrap the present of yourself. The time has come to step into your true potential and claim all possibilities for yourself. There is no more time to waste, no more excuses. A bird singing at night is an unusual occurrence, and those birds are known as singers of the darkness, are almost always considered sacred or frightening. In the past, at Halloween time, a night that the veil between the worlds was said to be at its thinnest, these night birds were considered either omens or messengers of the gods. Depending on the culture, their voices were perceived as good luck and a positive validation, or alternatively, a warning about continuing on a certain pathway. In some mythology, the night bird was able to direct us towards discovering our talents and true purpose, a kind of guide in the darkness leading us to the dawn. Ooh, maybe there's something about birds, okay? Birds may be hugely indicative of what's going on, all right? The underworld, where all things pause and begin again, rebirth energy, love it. Okay, here we are. The idea of an underworld, a whole realm that we go to after we die, is a concept that crosses a huge variety of cultures and eras. The Sumerians, the Turkish, the Incas, the Greeks, through to the Siberians, the Maori, and the Khmers. There may be a connection there for you, okay? All had a distinct word for the underworld. What is different, though, is how those cultures treat this concept. Whether the underworld is seen as a place of rest and rejuvenation, or horror and punishment. And again, that duality is also represented with the bird, right? It can either be seen as an omen or something positive, right? It's really our perception. So maybe this shadow is just about perception, right? And how we perceive things, all right? And then thusly bringing it to fruition. You are being asked to consider exactly what you have to do to transform your life into something you find easier or more authentic to you. This may involve changing course. It may involve trials and tests. Keep moving. While things may fall away and your life may appear bare for a time, this is temporary. Space is being made into which you can create the new, okay? And perhaps that creation has something to do with your vocal talents, okay? All right, let's get a couple from the mixed deck spirits, from the wisdom of the house of the night. All right, 25 meditation, again with that rest, right? One more. All right, thank you. And 49 oath. Get that in there. Making promises to self. This could be about your soul contract, your divine contract for your authentic self as well, being true to yourself. And maybe you're exploring that at this time. Let's see if there's anything else that needs to be shined light on. All right. Be still and listen to the sounds of the pulsing energy as the life force inherent in all things sings a gentle song to your sweet ears. So you may be getting some clairaudient oriented type of messages, okay, either out there in the world, birds singing, hearing the birds, you know, those being messages, maybe more so about hearing it than seeing it, okay? You may also hear it in song or overhearing conversations that might give you some signs or synchronicities as to what needs to be healed. Pay attention to how you're feeling or what's going on around you or the situation that you're in when you hear these messages too. That might be an indication as well. Whatever it is, you do have this oath, okay? But meditation. This is a time for non-action, right? That quiet observation, except this time clairaudiently, okay? Do nothing and find quiet within your heart and wait. All will be revealed when the time is right. Now is the time for quiet contemplation. You won't miss anything if you stay quiet. You're going to discover magic in silence. Interesting. Okay. The ability to change things and positively manifest, right? Okay. And then you have oath. Keeping promises, making promises. And I'm getting more of a vibe of self-promises, like promises to yourself, like what your soul made incarnating into this life for yourself, right? Yeah, this is the symbol for all promises and is a reminder to keep the ones you've made. An oath is never made lightly nor in jest. Promises are meant to be honored. When you choose a symbol, perhaps it's time you look at how you've made your promises. Have you crossed your fingers behind your back, relinquishing the magic that binds you to your oath? Has anyone broken his or her promise to you? Let the person go. Don't hold on if someone refuses to be honorable. You don't want this person in your life. For now, the most important promise you can make is to yourself. Promise to be kind, loving, honorable, and good. Do no harm. All right. All right, let's pull one from the Shapeshifter Spirit for Leo. Again with the magic. Okay. You have Orca magic. The Akashic libraries are open. Number 43. Keep skipping over the pages. It's so funny. All right. The whales are a key to unlocking the mysteries of the past history of the planet, including the times of Lemuria and Atlantis, and of the off-planet origins of some life on this planet. When this card comes to you, you are being given a strong message that you are the keeper of galactic mysteries, and you have a strong star person connection. Star people are connected to the growing need to connect to the galactic web, which we are all a vital part of. In order to receive their message, you must allow yourself to hear theirs, again with the clairaudience. So, clairaudience is going to be huge for you at this time, okay? Hear their song and learn more of the ancient times. Okay, so you'll probably get some clues as to what that is. Just go follow those puzzle pieces, those breadcrumbs down the trail, okay? When this card appears, it's time to take yourself outside and gaze up into the night sky. Learn about the constellations you can view from your home. Tune into the worlds beyond this world. Thinking of the bird, okay? Let's say you're outside and you hear, I don't know, middle of the night, you hear an owl. Okay, I'm just going to use an owl because I'm thinking that's the only owl, the only bird I can think of that's nocturnal that would be up at night. Okay, I know there's others, there's nightingales and blah, 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 but typically where I'm at, it's owls. So if you hear an owl screech and you look up towards where you think the sound's coming from, the first constellation or star system or stellar body you see, okay, there might be some significance there for you, okay? Now, if it happens to be, you know, a constellation of an astrological sign, then maybe the signs in your birth chart would be applicable at that time, okay? If it's Sirius, maybe a Syrian connection. If it's Lyra, maybe Lyran, okay? And so on and so forth. So, there's some information there that you're going to need to follow. some path, okay, that's related to the promises made to self, right? And you're going to need to do that meditative pause in order to do that, because you're going to have to be really aware of the world around you, especially to be able to hear anything, right? Okay. Learn about the constellations you can view from your home. Tune into the worlds beyond this world and ask that they connect with you in healthful ways. Listening to whale song can also help heal any physical ailments you may have. So if that's an issue right now, simply listening to a recording of their song can be healing for you at this time. Whales can also assist with intergalactic travel without physically leaving the planet, seal and repair any wounds or tears in your energy field, and return you to the parts of your soul that you may be unaware that you're even missing. So maybe that's what you'll be discovering as you go along. And maybe you can figure out why, too, they were missing in the first place. There may have been a wound or something that needed to be healed. That could be the shadow that you're uncovering, right? There you go, Leo. Hopefully that helps. Have a good one. Bye. All right, and our last fire sign, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. All right, let's pull a couple from the Halloween Oracle here. What's lurking in the shadows, Spirit? What does Sagittarius need to know at this time? Shine some light. These have been very deep thus far, so listen with an open heart, okay? Whatever you're imagining as you hear me might be the answer, so bear in mind. Let's get to, please, Spirit. Thank you. Okay. All right. First card out, you have Zombie, Control, and the Lamp, Remembrance. From what I remember, these two cards and putting them together, Zombie is all about just how people are controlling the energy of others, right? And maybe just being possessive or manipulative, right? Like you've got a bit of that energy. That's how I've always kind of applied this card to tangible circumstances with relationships and stuff. And the Lamp is really just about like passed over energies trying to come through to give you some guidance or just to remember them. That's what the lamp in the window is for. For the longest, it was also candles, or people would put their jack-o'-lanterns as well, or other illuminated items in the window to sort of guide people home, right? So I'm getting a sense here that maybe there had been some sort of circumstance with a controlling energy that is now gone, right? Like they had passed on, right? But I'm going to go ahead and read into this a little bit more. Just seeing those two cards together tells me maybe the situation's over with this individual or this energy, whatever it is for you. Okay. Zombies have been quite the fashion race recently, much like vampires. Turn on the television, you can't escape the moaning and groaning of the living dead, although it's more of a sound. Yes, the husband has been watching Walking Dead and Fear the Living Dead, I think it's called. Oh, God. That's what I hear when I go out in the living room. And yes, they do seem to be after your brains. There are even public zombie walks where people dress up as zombies and appear en masse on roads and in cities. But zombies are not merely a fun icon of popular culture. Traditionally, they are mainly associated with the African and Haitian voodoo religion. Zombies are said to be dead bodies reanimated by incantations chanted by a learned practitioner called a bucker, and they are usually enlivened for a purpose. The practitioner is said to capture part of a living soul to animate the body, and that is always a temporary action, as the soul cannot be contained in that decomposing body for long, or God will take the soul back. Interesting. So you have something that has died and being controlled, right? And then you have the lamp, which also kind of guides, lost souls coming back home, right? It's sort of a controlling thing, right? All right. I just saw the correlation between the two. The similarity. There you go. One of the most frightening aspects of the idea of zombieism is the idea of our souls and consciousness being trapped inside a body that does not do our bidding but someone else's. Another is the idea of being buried alive, the fate of some, it is said, who get trapped in already dead bodies. It's time to look at the concept of control. Do you want to control everything, leaving little to free expression? Do you choose partners who are not your equal so that they are more easily manipulated and changed to your liking? Or do you allow that to happen to you? So that may be the circumstance the shadow is stemming from. If you are not living your most authentic life, it's time to look at why and how to change that. Okay. The lamp can also be shining light to bring it home, right? To a place that's warm, a sense of warmth. All right, I'm having a hard time finding this. There we go. With the, it's not in the T's. Here we go. While it is tradition to carve a jack-o'-lantern to scare away the spirits, it was an older tradition still to light a candle or lamp on Halloween night and leave it at the window as a loving guide home for those who have passed. Both as a symbol of remembrance and also a kind of leaving the lights on for those who may wish to come home, the lamp was left on to illuminate the night and perhaps even the sadness that was felt because of the passing. This card reminds us that it's a positive thing to remember those who have passed, or even just you left behind, right? Like this could just be a situation that you ended with a controlling energy, right? And since it's pretty somewhat fresh, right? Like it's good to remember it, but at the same time not put too much effort and energy into it, right? And just let it go, right? Forgive and let go. For those with whom we did not have an easy relationship, or even those we did not like, leave us with valuable lessons. Sometimes we learn more from our nemesis than we do our friends, and so the darkness can illuminate our strengths and our true values so that we can live them more clearly and fully. Okay? Let's get a couple from the next deck. Spirit, tell us more. I got a lot from those two cards. You may also need to use your intuition heavily at this time. I'm just looking at that moon there. And the jack-o'-lantern is also a symbol of protection, so know you're protected, okay? You're not in this alone. Going through this, you're not in this alone. You have an amazing spirit army if you're open to receive their love, okay? It's not just about your ancestors and your spirit guides, right? We have these amazing higher dimensional beings. And of course, you have all the living soul family yet to find and discover, right? There are more. All right. Let's get two, please. There's that one. There we go. Okay. Refocusing energy. I'm going to stick this here. So I'm going to put them both on that side. So we got a 36, which breaks down to 9. That might be significant to you, with differences. And number 17 with focus. Okay. This card asks you to accept that you will not always agree with everyone, and they may not always agree with you. Know that the intricate differences between all beings are sacred and good. You must learn to accept that others are not the same as you, and vice versa. Just know that that's what they might not know, right? If you've been judged in that way, right? It's important to allow others to express their own opinions. Consider the difference between an orange and an apple. Both are fruit, but they are different kinds. Again, I always think when I see this card, if you've ever seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding, the dad and his toast, complaining throughout the movie, and at the very end, his speech at the reception is just totally adorable. Talking about how one name is an apple and the other one is an orange. He's like, they're different, but in the end, we all just fruit. So that's what I always hear when I see that. Okay, we just fruit. My terrible Greek accent there. Okay, anyway. Is one more valuable than the other? I think not. All creatures, all beings have a right to their uniqueness. Try to see and hear the other person's side if you can, all right? And if they're not hearing your side, just let it go, right? That may be the situation that's controlling, right? Focus. When you draw this symbol, it is a wonderful sign that with focus, you will achieve what you want. So staying focused and, kind of balancing head and heart during this whole thing, okay? She has got a flaming arrow there, but she's controlling it pretty well because she's got her sights targeted, locked and loaded, right? If I give you an arrow and a bow to use, how will you shoot and hit your mark? This is a reminder that you must let go of all distractions and have the courage to give it your all. Your arrow will be drawn to whatever you focus on, so keep your eye on the target. Remember that you can't control every outcome. Again, with the control, right? Just as the wind can influence the path of your arrow, there are many factors determining the course of your plans. To achieve anything, you must focus, take aim, and let go. All right? There may be some sort of diplomacy going on. That's what I'm seeing here, okay? And maybe it's a little tricky of circumstances to work around, whatever it may be for you, okay? It's going to be a balancing act, and you're going to have to stay focused. I know it's hard to do. Certain things that are triggering, certain shadow aspects are definitely difficult. All right, let's get a final piece of advice for Sagittarius from the Shapeshifters, please. Oracle of the Shapeshifters. All right. Interesting. Love it. Okay, you have the Fairy Bee, My Life is Sweet, number 6. There you are. So things have been tough for a while. There seems to be a place where flow happens, but you can't just find your way into the stream. The Fairy Bee is here to show you where the honey is and how to attract the pollinators, the sacred messengers who can create the connections you need. Have no doubt your life can be as sweet and sound as honey, as healthy, strong, and productive as bees, and as busy doing something you love as theirs. And at the end of time of busyness that's heading your way, the inertia and feeling of being left out of one's life's secrets will have lifted. You will experience abundance and golden times when this card shows up. You may also wish to explore essential oils and flower remedies, perhaps any that might help you with focus, right? And kind of loosening the grip on things, maybe relaxing, anti-anxiety, okay? Might I suggest lavender? It seems to be a go-to for a lot of things. And it's easy to find and easy to make. If you grow lavender or know someone who does, just dry it and infuse it in some olive oil, okay? And then you can use it however you want. Let the bees show you the ancient wisdom, and if you listen, they will show you where the honey is. Have a 10-minute sun bath each day, smell the flowers, taste the honey. Let the golden age begin. You could also have lavender tea with honey. That's a possibility. And I think it's Bigelow, if you're in the US, I don't know where else they send it to, that makes lavender chamomile. You just add some honey to it, it's delish, okay? So that might actually help you prepare for focus as well. And I'm also seeing the zombie there at night, right? So it may be good to do this as a nighttime, potion ritual or something, however you want to do it, okay? It's calming, it'll help you sleep, you might get your messages a little easier, you'll be cleansed, protected, the full 9, okay? There you go, Sagittarius. Have a good one. All right, for our earth signs, we're going to start off with Taurus, okay? Let's pull from the Halloween Oracle 2, please, for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Spirit. Oh, you're going to need to synergize. Oh, big time synergize. Wow. May even involve food. Things you eat, consume. All right, first card out, you have Cauldron, Synergy and Healing. And this is regarding your healing practices, okay? Barmbrack, sweetness and synergy. Sweetness might have something to do with it. Let's see here. Where are you going? This spirit, what's happening here? Where all things, cauldron, where all things come together under pressure, flowful synergy, a new thing is created, a crucible of infinity. You're going to have to alchemize, do some alchemy healing oriented kind of stuff at this time, okay? I'm seeing sort of cleansing and protecting. Cleansing with the pot there. I'm thinking of like, taking a bath, right? And then protection with the jack-o'-lanterns that are there as well. Okay? And I'm also seeing protection with the pentacle in the background there. Okay. And something tangible at home. So it's got to be something from the ground or earth, right? Anyway, okay. A typical depiction of a witch sees her standing over a boiling cauldron, slowly stirring the bubbling and mysterious contents. As she stirs the enormous metal pot over the raw flames, she cackles and incants commands to all the elements, transforming the contents into something magical. Cauldrons were commonly used in ancient and medieval times for everything from the nightly meal to the making of medicines. This family crucible was usually placed within the hearth of the home, making it an essential part of the gathering of family. Much healing and nourishment came from the cauldron. This indicates the importance of combining a variety of techniques or elements to get the best result. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. Refuse to choose just a single rigid pathway when a variety of ways are there to be enjoyed and experienced. You can find your own ways to create something new. The cauldron is a deeply transformational tool. Things change once they're put under pressure. Resilience is being cultivated over time, and this means that you will be able to withstand any negative pressure much more healthfully from the inside out. Barmbrack also talks about divination. So maybe you're trying to find new ways to divinate or tap in to the other realms, okay? And get messages and things, right? Excuse me, let me get some water. Sometimes that happens. Throat tickle, that might mean something to you. That usually means like, I think that's the throat chakra blockage warning, okay? So there might be some challenge with communication, okay? And you might have to work a number of ways around to connect, okay? A pea, a cloth, a coin, a ring, and a stick. Within a loaf of speckled sweetness. Slice it and eat it, a glimpse of my fate's completeness. I also noticed the word sweet immediately as well, and I'm immediately thinking of sugar. And I know sometimes sugar is added to spell work to sort of have a fast reaction, but have the energy come in sweet and nice, gentle, right? So that may be aspects of whatever you need to do going out. The energy going out needs to be sweet and nice, but still quick, right? Okay. Not quite a cake and not quite a bread. Barmbrack is a sweet loaf, larger than a typical bread loaf, baked with flour, sugar, salt, and dried fruits such as raisins. The making of barmbrack is an Irish tradition that still stands around Samhain, Halloween. The person baking the loaf would be sure to set the intention for love, truth, and synergy while preparing it. Inside the dough, a number of special objects are hidden and baked into the loaf. The objects are used as kind of a random oracle. Each one has a particular meaning which represents the fate of the person who found it in their slice. The traditional objects include a coin, meaning prosperity and good luck. A pea, unfortunately meant that no marriage would occur for you that year, yet finding the ring meant a marriage was certain. The stick, to be avoided at all costs, indicated disputes and unhappiness, and finding the cloth meant bad luck and little money ahead. This card indicates a curiosity to know what is ahead, but it's important to balance that with the now. After all, we have the tools to change our future should we choose. The sweet synergy of barmbrack, all the ingredients, including the objects, are more complete and powerful together than they are individually. should encourage you to seek your own sweet spot. Okay, let's pull a couple from the next deck, please, for Taurus spirit. I'm wondering what shadows we're going to be synergizing here and healing. So clearly you're going to need multiple methods or to find your right combination, right? It could just be shadow work in general. Maybe you're working on different shadows and you're trying to tackle as many as you can. That's ooh, the fledgling just came out. That may be a yes. Okay. Number one, the fledgling. It's like somebody that's just beginning, right? Like you're just now leaving the nest spiritually, and you're just embarking on your shadow work, and you've got a lot to do, right? There's a lot of cleanup that hasn't been done, a lot of backlog, so to speak, right? Cleaning out the subconscious clutter, you know, and working on some of your wounds and your triggers and stuff, right? All right. Immediately, I can tell you right now from experience, start with the small stuff. Don't feel like you need to tackle the big boys yet. When you tackle the small stuff, your vibration raises every time. You get stronger and you can handle bigger stuff as you go. The next biggest stuff and the next biggest stuff and the next. Layer it, okay? It gets easier as you go along. And then the bigger stuff, you're going to have to do a lot of extra stuff for, you know, and you'll have had the opportunity to kind of explore all your options and test all the various healing techniques and modalities, right? As well as all the various paths and things that you can do. You already have built up your spiritual toolbox to heal, right? And this goes with just starting out any kind of new project in general, right? You know, if you have a big project, you're not going to just go, oh, wham, bam, let's get it done. No, you're going to have to break it up into smaller pieces anyway and fine tune it, right? And as you do that, you learn so many valuable things along the way that you would have missed if you just jumped right into it and had it taken care of overnight, right? The fledgling. Dear one, when you receive the symbol of the fledgling, know that you are blessed for the time of learning new things. This is a time for you to remember that you cannot know things until you experience them. Being in this evolving state means you may stumble a bit. Don't expect yourself to be perfect. Now is the time for being gentle with yourself as you step into your destiny to become the beautiful person you are meant to be. When the fledgling appears to you, it is a sign of new growth and wonderful new opportunities. Step forward with curiosity and a willingness to learn and discover. And I just flipped over the second card, and it's beauty, number 40. I love it. Ones are all about new beginnings. 40 breaks down to a 4, which means you're protected, building foundations as well, okay? So you may be building yourself up for something even greater than you could ever imagine. That's going to be hugely abundant, okay? All right. Every rose has its thorns, and the symbol of beauty reminds you that beauty is never perfect. Just as the beautiful experiences, you will not be perfect forever. When you revel in the beauty that is true, you can look at yourself in the mirror and realize that you are already perfect as you are. When you choose this symbol, it is a sign that beauty is all around you. Keep a positive attitude, expect wonderful things, and they will come to you. See yourself as beautiful and know that beauty is not skin deep. It includes qualities that lie well beneath the surface. Look for this truer beauty in others as well, and always look beyond appearances, right? So see things transparently, for sure, especially with regards to any healing, right? All right. Such a beautiful reading. I love it. Let's get one from the Shapeshifter Spirit. Let's close this beautiful reading out. All right. You have the Black Cat, number 30. Gosh, I love that. 40, 31. All right. Lost magic, atonement, and rebalance. 3s basically signify good news. It's also just your, ascended masters assisting. Like all the upper echelon of your spiritual army is helping out. They got you. So if you need them, call on them. All right. If you need a little extra help, call on them. you might need to learn about them. I have a whole playlist for the Ascended Masters if you want to check it out. We do them all over here. I love them all. As an agnostic, I find that opening yourself up to as much as possible, all these wonderful energies help out at some point, you know? And you tend to weather storms pretty easily. All right, here we go. The Black Cat. A feeling of great loneliness, angst, even self-pity and ennui, a flatness and emptiness, a boredom has been around you. You must take this time to really understand how this came to be, and to understand that it could not have come to be without some kind of contribution on your behalf. This is not to blame you or even to blame another, but to understand how the trouble has happened as best you can. By acknowledging the part that you played, you'll be given messages and opportunities to regrow the friendships that still have life in them. And you will know which ones to walk, away from for all time, okay? It is time to say sorry if you know you ought to, and to allow yourself to say what has been done and why. There is no blame, just understanding. But there must be an understanding of your own connection to this first and foremost. Kind words and sincere amends will create friendships. Insisting on being tough and frightening for self-protection will only repeat this cycle, leaving you even more alone than you feel you are present, and magic will stay far away. You have experienced intense jealousy and sticky, unhealthy energies. You need not feel you are empty. You too have your magic. Forgive yourself, speak the truth, make amends, and watch your own magical abilities grow and thrive. And heal yourself through this process, because there may be a lot going on here, okay? And if you're not yet ready to kind of, bury the hatchet, mend fences, whatever it is, or you decide on whether or not to let it go, keep working on your synergy, okay? You'll know in time. All right? There you go, Taurus. Have a good one. Bye. All right, moving on to Virgo. Sun, Moon, Rising. Let's see what's lurking in the shadows. All right. What guidance is there for you this time? Spirit, Virgo. Oh, there we go. 2 from the Halloween Oracle, please. All right. Excuse me. You have invincibility, authenticity, and you have the owl, wise seeing, wise action. Okay, I'm getting some serious High Priestess vibes. Like you need to be the gray area right now. Okay, a little bit. Know your truth, speak your truth. Ooh. Tap into that discernment and intuition. Yeah, there may be something that you're going to be learning that is not quite ready for a PSA yet. Okay? All right. Invincibility. You know that feeling you sometimes have that someone is watching you? You cannot see them, yet you have a distinct feeling that someone is there. All the hairs are up on the back of your neck. You think you see something in the corner of your eye. But when you turn, there is nothing to be seen but empty air. This is the power of invincibility. The indirect fear and the covert threat of having to fight something that we cannot see. Humans have a strong visual sense, so it's no wonder that we are uneasy about things we cannot see. The ancients believed that all manner of creatures, mythical and physical, and of course the deities, could make themselves invisible at will. When we consider that some animals are camouflaged so well by their coats or behavior that sometimes even if we are looking straight at them, they are hard to see within their environment, that invisibility isn't such a far-fetched concept. In many cultures, the idea of beings who could watch us undetected were and still are common. Jinns, angels, nature spirits, the fae, and even practitioners of magic, such as witches, are said to have the power to appear and disappear at will. Later in literature, and then in movies, invisibility becomes a common power, and we now have fictional superheroes that are invisible, and even cloaks of invisibility. The concept of invisibility is a double-edged sword. While it is a powerful tool to be able to gain information or to assist while no one sees, individuals using it are privy to information that may not be meant for them, and may be taken out of context or unethically. It is a power of manipulation and easily abused. The idea of hiding away and not being seen is also a big part of the dark side of this concept. We are all born to shine our light out into the world and to take our roles. hiding our talents, not expressing our true selves, stealing others' idea or work, or being someone else rather than your authentic self are all aspects to consider should this card appear, okay? That could be some shadow that is lurking right now, okay? Have you been in hermit mode, Virgo? How apropos. Okay. Maybe it's time to come on out, all right? Owl. Wise thing, wise action. Owls have for thousands of years been part of folklore and have been considered a special or sacred animal. With their huge forward-facing eyes and otherworldly appearance, they've been seen as both wise and harbingers of the supernatural. There are many hundreds of species of owls, and almost all are nocturnal and carnivorous. Interestingly, they all have specifically designed feathers that enable them to fly silently at night, giving them an incredible hunting advantage, sort of a stealth mode. Should this owl come looking for you, it indicates the need for wise counsel or further information before making a decision. Consider action is warranted. Think before you act emotionally and ensure you think strategically, not impulsively, okay? So, with that invisibility, right? I'm just thinking of it talking about making rash decisions based on limited things that are seen, right? Because half of it's invisible. You have to really be able to look through things and know exactly what you're dealing with, right? Maybe you've misjudged a situation or someone misjudged you, right? Because they weren't being true to themselves and they were only looking at the surface of something and not actually examining it, okay? Again, there we go. Seeing things that they're not privy to, taking things out of context, unethical, power manipulation, and easily abused, okay? That's something to consider. Let's get two from the next deck, Spirit, for Virgo. Tell us more. And you can very well be on the receiving end of this, and that's probably what caused a little bit of that hermit mode, that recoil, right? All right. Ooh, okay, here it is. You have card number 38, Deceit, and 31, Risk. All right. I keep jumping ahead too far. That's interesting. All right. Maybe the energy's just moving too quick. And that's probably why you had to recoil, right? Like the energy just moves too quick. Okay. When you choose this symbol of deceit, be very careful about your motives in making your choices. In the house of the night, there is one who betrayed herself and all those who looked up to her. I am also warning you that someone may be stabbing you in the back. Regardless of the circumstances of your question, I warn you about deceit. There will be a price to pay for betrayal in all forms. Only you know how much it will cost. That said, although the energy of betrayal can be seductive, the universe is stronger. We're just going to go ahead and do that, darling. You are forewarned. Yeah, because the energy you put out comes back, right? And it's definitely not a risk worth taking. That's what's finite about our universe. People may call it the laws of attraction. Some call it karma or dharma. It's all this cause and effect. It's energy going out, comes back. Live in an acoustic universe. So, had this been happened to you and you're on the receiving end of this deceit, no, it's going back. You don't got to do nothing, right? You just be true to yourself and be honest, okay? Risk. You have come to a place where you're being asked to take a risk and try something new and different. Rather than worry about how things will turn out, why not take a leap of faith? No matter what happens, something important will be experienced. This is a sign that you can prove something to yourself, and when you accomplish it, you will be proud that you did. Another meaning here is to ask yourself about your next action. Is it worth the risk you are taking? If the answer is no, don't do it. If yes, you will have divine guidance for that, okay? This symbol also brings you a gentle warning. Your risk shouldn't be motivated by boredom. This is a symbol of consequences as well as courage. So perhaps whoever, if you're on the receiving end, okay, let's flip the energies, right? If you're on the receiving end, whatever made you recoil because somebody had been deceitful, that energy will come back. Risk, 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 right? You run that risk. All right, let's get you some final guidance. I'm going to have to do a two-parter on this one, okay? So look for the next video for your air and water placements. All right, you have number 4, Brother Raccoon. A safe place for you to go. Do not speak, adapt, make intelligent choices, and hide your precious self or knowledge for a time. If working on a new project, do not speak of it to others for now, because you might have some deceit energy around you, okay? At the least, you will dissipate the energy. More terrifying, you run the risk of it being stolen or appropriated, and you'll also run the risk of worrying about it, which in itself is energy sapping. Keep it a beautiful secret between you and the universe, and continue to do your work. It needs your attention and energy right now. Do not give it all away. Keep it close, fresh, new, and exciting, and stay well under the radar for the time being. Be adaptable for now. Keep the mask close. You are highly intelligent. You will have a perfect place to hide out, a place to stay safe, a place to preserve yourself and your treasure. This going to ground will not be forever. Because, that's what raccoons do. Okay. And when you emerge, you will be reborn, ready to come from a heart-centered space with no more need to hide. Okay, so maybe that time is now. Maybe it's time to come out of hiding, right? Like maybe you've been in hermit mode because of this. And it's safe to take that leap of faith, right? To come out of hiding and not to let that deceit overcome your bravery. There you go. All right, Virgo, have a good one. See you other placements for more insight, okay? All right, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. We got 2 from the Holy Oracle. Please and thank you, Spirit. You have Werewolf, exploring wildness. And Skull of Flowers, creating through the ashes. All right. All right. The werewolf is a kind of shapeshifter, but one that has traditionally had little control over his wildness. In a way, an inner battle between civilization and wild animal nature fights inside the one body. The vitality, strength, and freedom of the animal versus the reason, control, and intellect of man. Which one, though, is the dominant force? What is the healthy balance between our animal nature, one that is wild, free, and connected to nature, and our radically civilized humanness separate from or dominant over nature? The werewolf asks us to consider this balance. Okay, so it's about considering the balance, and to delve into our own ideas of wildness, independence, and custodianship of the planet. When was the last time you spent all day outside? When is the last time you threw your head back and held at the moon? Do you quash the vitality and curiosity of your body and mind by sitting all day in front of a computer? The werewolf challenges you to weave a balance between nature and your own nature. All right. I can kind of see where we're going with this. Balancing mind, body, spirit alignment. All right. A recalibration, if you will. Okay. Skull of Flowers, creating through the ashes. It's all talking about using and tapping into your sacral energy, right? Your feminine energy to heal, usually with creativity, right? As you rebirth, as are the phoenix flying out of those ashes, right? So let's go on. To blossom and bloom, the work must be done. Through fire and ashes, our fortune, it comes. Before flowers are born, they are sweet buds on a plant that came from a smaller form like a seed or bulb. The seed needs prepared, nourishing soil to grow its potential. Some plants and trees only seed after fire or a period of extreme adversity like drought or flood. Sometimes we wish for a life different from the one we have, and that can mean radical change. Sometimes to have that new life, everything falls apart to make it so, and that can be uncomfortable. We may lose our relationships, or they may change. We might lose a job, have to move house, or become ill. all big events that lead to a reassessment of the how of our lives. The skull of flowers illustrates that there is a sureness and yet a rawness to creating again, to starting afresh. Sometimes the universe gives us a blank slate to work from so we can build what we really want, rather than just settling for less. The skull of flowers celebrates not just this kind of phoenix energy, but an energy of success and full bloom through adversity. Okay, so there's some kind of challenge triggering this need for rebalancing, as well as for creating something new, like this Fool energy. I love it. Rebirth energy, new beginnings. All right. Let's get a couple from the next deck, Spirit. That's one. There's two. All right. All right. Ooh, okay. You have 18 forbidden and 45 message. You can read those together. Forbidden message. Maybe there's going to be a secret revealed, right? Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see what else we can pull. Both are nines, by the way. Oh my goodness. I just realized that. 18 is a 9. 45 is a 9. 9 signify releasing and new on the way. On the shadow side, since we are talking about shadows, it's a clinging to the past. So maybe this new thing is what you need, and it's something that will balance both your nature and man, as well as, and I can also see that nature being, your authentic self. It could be a spiritual rebirth, right? Not just a physical, tangible, I move into a new city kind of rebirth, right? And it could be both. Forbidden. I'm sending you this warning as your goddess. You're about to enter into a situation that will not be easy and could cause you and others pain. Not all doorways are meant to be opened. Not all relationships are good for you. Not all love is expressed and not all desires are realized. Right now, I'm saying no to you. The symbol for forbidden also reminds you that although you may feel pain when someone rejects you, this is one of the ways of protecting you. Okay, so you're going to get some sort of message about making it very obvious what is not for you. Okay? That is a blessing in disguise. That will give you a new path you'll be able to create through those ashes. Okay? It is for the best, even if you don't believe it right now. This is another symbol to move on and choose another path. Okay? And message. Maybe you can get the message different ways. We'll see here. You might need to follow some of your other placements to know more, okay? This did pop up, and I forget which fire sign it was. Okay. All right, message did pop up. All right, get ready and pay attention. You're about to get a message with special meaning. Maybe someone will text you something, or you'll find out something in a phone call. Perhaps a letter will come in the mail. That's very specific. Or you might get a sign in nature. Okay, maybe you might have to be more of the wolf of the werewolf, right? At the moment, and go be in nature. Regardless of what you are thinking, and you will soon know the answer, or at least know the way. A message is coming. Okay. Now I'm going to pull another card, Spirit. Tell us more. Just a little clue. Another from Nyx. Because I get the feeling that's the pot of gold at the end. I'm sorry. Just saw the card as it popped up. You have number 12, conclusion. Oh my goodness. All right, that's classic. I love it. This is a time of endings and new beginnings. So it's probably your new beginning, right? Okay. Indicates that you have come to the end of some experience in your life and are about to enter a new one. So don't focus too much on what you receive on this aspect, okay? Go, okay, that happened. That means at some point this is going to happen, right? That should just be a clue in for this next thing. Don't resist the conclusion, for endings are important experiences and will help you build a stronger foundation for your next adventure. There's also a warning to get all the facts before you draw a conclusion, okay? About someone. You can't know the whole story if you haven't read to the end. Remain open even when an ending is final or a conclusion is correct. This is a sign that a new story is about to unfold. Ooh, love it. I'm kind of excited. And you'll probably get some answers in nature. That is exciting. Yeah, screw that noise. We want this noise. Whatever this means here, okay? For you. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Look, I mean, it's pretty flowers over here, and it's just kind of dark, and I mean, it is kind of cool, but it's just like any other cavernous place, right? It's got your usual steps and stone. Okay. All right, so let's get from the shapeshifters. Tell us more, Spirit. What's this conclusion? Okay, all right. A beautiful little worm. Take care of yourself. 17. Spirit's being cheeky. This is a time for restoration. And you must slow down, wrap yourself in a metaphorical cuddly blanket, and drift just for a time. You may experience some sniffles, aches and pains, colds and flus, so it's time to take shelter from parties and lots of people. No matter how much they love you, it is now time for you to experience the solace you wish for, to take very good care of your beautiful self, to slow down, and to heal in a safe environment you give to yourself. Okay, I think in time, after some healing, that's when the Phoenix energy will show up, okay? It is time to remember how loved you are, and that there are people and beings, including magical beings, who truly watch over you and care. You could spend time redecorating your room, moving some furniture, rearranging your desk, or even organizing all your files online. All very good things to do. It's all part of energy clearing anyway, right? It's a good chance to energize, clean the energy of your space, your mind, your body, all of it, okay? All right. There will be someone you can trust nearby who will look after you, so you can relax and dedicate this time to yourself and to your cocoon. Remember to treat yourself with love and tender compassion, and others will follow. Before long, thanks to the comfort you've given yourself and the time out, your energy will resurge again, vital, flowing, bright, and quick, after this time of gentle sleep and rest, okay? Whatever that circumstance you're coming from might be jarring enough to the point where you're going to have to do some rest and recovery first. And then you'll know where this new path is, okay? Could just be being free from that, right? You may discover it as you organize. That's another thing, too, I'm picking up. All right? There you go, Capricorn. Have a good one. On to part 2.